Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Please continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. I am seriously considering moving to Houston, Texas. And the reason for that is that I've been in Phoenix for a total of 3 years. If you count the time that I took the vacation here, plus my full time living here. Before that, I was in Seattle for 7 years. And then prior to that, I was in New York for 8 months. I worked on my PhD in Rochester, New York for 4 years, obviously. And I there's things to like and hate about each of those places, but Phoenix, my main complaint is the hyper individualism of everything. It's like at the workplace, you don't have any friends. Earlier today, one of my coworkers was upset that I had been saying pray to the God of dislikes. He didn't think religion belonged in school, in a community college, and it wasn't even a very serious religion. And he said that I was loud in the break room singing Peter Dislike and praying to the God of dislikes. And I apologize. I said I didn't realize how loud it was, but it's not a real religion. Just wish me luck, right? It's just by waving dislike, right? But it just goes to show how little camaraderie we have, right? Even a minor brush like a fake religion can offend so many people here in the Phoenix area. And maybe I shouldn't have used the word pray. I would have to think hard about how to rephrase that. Maybe the word pray is a little bit off. And I had a meeting with my boss today. My boss observed my class today, and she said I was ill prepared. The truth is, I had anxiety. When she was there, I lost half of my words. I did prepare for the class. And so I'm going to have to write a response to that, and I think a lot of my students can vouch for me anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. But again, it goes to show how alone we are in taking care of these things. I don't need to tell you guys about the stories of my dating life and how alone I feel with dealing with that, right? We don't seem to help each other. And then I look at my friends over in Taiwan or Europe, and the culture of dating is very different. If you had a group of friends, let's say I have a meetup group, 10 people, right? And one of them matches with somebody, we don't leave the rest of us. We help each other, right? And I hope Texas will be a change. I'm not really, I'm kind of just, right now, I'm just, the thing is that aside from this hyper individualism, I kind of like the weather here, right? I kind of like that just about every place I've lived here has a good amount of space for me to work on my art projects. I think Houston will also have a lot of space for me to do that too, right? I certainly couldn't do my art career in a New York or a Seattle kind of environment, right? Although I did begin the art career in Seattle, I was living out of my car actually at the time. I would go to one of those electric vehicle charging stations and work on my art. I have a funny story about that actually. I was living in my car, and I went to an EV charging um, garage to work on my bismuth art. It was late at night, 1, 2 a.m., when nobody was really patrolling the areas. And one night, somebody wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, uh-oh, I got caught. And so I was a little concerned because you got to remember when you're working with that stuff, things are hot, right? If he had asked me to pack up and leave, I can't just easily pack everything, right? It's got to take time to cool down. So and my heart's racing out of control. He's coming up to me and thinking of backing me off of that area. And my heart's racing out of control. What do I explain to him, right? Most people aren't going to have the bandwidth to listen to things like that. And so it was at that moment that I realized it was just another street person. And so he thought I was cooking meth at the EV charging station, and I breathed a sigh of relief. But then I realized I got to be careful of this other concern, right? And so, but for a moment, I had a sigh of relief. And I told him, no, this is not meth. It's bismuth crystals. Maybe one day I'll make just as much money as somebody who actually cooks meth, but I'll be on the right side of the law at least, right? And he told me, no, he has a friend who uses it like responsibly. He has medical problems. So like, really? And I pretended to not. I didn't believe him, but I joked with him just to not cause a scene, right? And so that was that. But unfortunately, again, it's one of those things that we don't have camaraderie, right? Even trying to make bismuth art when you're out and about, right? You run into people who want to kick you out of the place and people who want to use the place for other things. And there's no teamwork, right? And okay, I'll give you that. I was doing my art projects in an unconventional way, but even when I'm doing things that are on the better side of things, right, at my workplace, everybody's just hyper individual. There's no teamwork. How do we all give the students a better experience? No, it feels like a reality TV show. Who could get somebody booted out of the office first, right? I often feel like the workplace and just about everything in our lives has become almost like reality TV, and and it's just very toxic in my opinion, very toxic. And I definitely did not get that kind of vibe when I was vacationing in Taiwan last month. And I'll see how Texas goes. If nothing else, the cost of living in Texas is a lot less, right? That will ease down a lot of the pressures of various aspects in life, right? Have more money to actually have a social life, ease up a lot of the tensions at the job when you got a little bit more buffer before you run into drama, right? And certainly won't have to live out of my car, maybe have more space to work on my bismuth art projects. Anyway, tomorrow, well, pray for a couple of things. Number one, I got to respond to my boss, right? And I think I can do that because my students can vouch for me, and I got good student reviews, right? She was just saying that you look so unprepared, you were lost at a loss for words and hesitating. Yeah, public speaking anxiety when your boss is around will do that to you, right? And I'm gonna have to think about how to let her know that the students are doing fine. You got a little shake it up a little bit, and hopefully she can come observe another time. And also, oh, um, I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism for this, but I had a little bit of divine intervention, and I'm going to be seeing a girl tomorrow. What had happened was I have good rapport with one of my students, and he thought it was funny that I was asking people to swipe left on me on Bumble. And one day I show him a really funny profile of this girl on Bumble, and I asked him if he could take a screenshot of my phone so that I could save it for later so I could show the rest of our friends and just save it to laugh and just to remind myself, hey, I don't have to feel too badly about myself. There's this girl also. And so he took my phone. I'm not very good with technology, especially new technology, like taking a screenshot of your phone. So I asked my student, and he took the phone, and as he grabbed the phone, he accidentally swiped right on the profile. And wouldn't you know it, it matched. And it's like divine intervention. So I got to see this girl because, well, I just don't want to regret not seeing her when I have an opportunity, right? And I check it off that bucket list, right? That's how the attitude I'm going in with. And if it works, it might be divine intervention as well, right? But it might be a 1 in a million. There's probably a better chance that all that bismuth that I have will decay into gold tomorrow than this girl being any sort of material. But at least I won't regret it later, right? So, all right, pray for that as well. There's another meetup group that I'm going to tomorrow as well. And then obviously the trip to Houston. Pray that I make it safely. Obviously we had 3 plane crashes in the space of a few weeks. It sounds like. Was there a third one today? I kind of heard it on the radio on my way home. And pray that the girl in Houston. Pray for a good move to Houston. Pray that I find my community there. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.